Dribbling on FIFA 23 has changed massively. I have spent the last month or so trying to figure out how to dribble successfully. And what we have managed to do is to find a way to make our small, intricate, tight turns work correctly and make ourselves be able to get the angles that we want to, and we're going to show you how. So, to understand how dribbling works on FIFA 23, you are going to need to disregard everything that you have learned from previous FIFAs. Left stick dribbling just is not the same as what it used to be. It's not as quick and responsive. EA introduced this year the new technical dribbling, which is essentially just left stick dribbling. A lot of people were happy with this because it meant that you couldn't just dance past players, while as other players were pretty angry because it can take away the fun element of the game. Left stick dribbling is simply put where you just use the left analog stick. You aren't doing any other buttons, you are just dribbling at a jogging pace. Here we can see Mbappe using the left stick dribbling, and it's not as great really. It's very difficult to get those tight, intricate turns. Next up, we have agile dribbling. This is where you hold R1 on PlayStation, RB on Xbox, and this is going to be used for the small, intricate, quick turns, change of direction, maybe in 180 degrees, and that will work effectively there. We also then have something called strafe dribbling. This is where you hold L1 on PlayStation, LB on Xbox. Essentially, this is to walk backwards with the ball, but still keep facing in the same direction. We then have L2R2, LTRD dribbling. This is where you just have the ball really, really close and you shift the ball from one foot to the other. I'm going to be honest though, I personally don't use this. I don't see too many people use this either, but that is a command for you. So we've understood the controls. Let's jump into some in-game examples. Throughout our examples, we can see a particular pattern. We take our touches with just the left stick, and then when we want to sharply change direction, we use R1, RB for agile dribbling. This is going to allow those sharper changes of motion and the ability to shift the ball from one foot and then take it away. This example here though with Keane, we pick the ball up in the middle of the park. We see the winger above as a bit of bait, but we don't want to play that. We want to turn around. In one sweeping motion, we are going to turn effectively. We just use the left stick here. We spoke about this years ago in our dribbling videos where we said that you don't want to be ramming the left stick from left to right to up and down. You want to be delicate with that left analog stick. And with those motions, it will become your best friend and it makes dribbling so much easier for you. So when we are using agile dribbling, you are going to tap and hold R1, RB to get that little turn and take away. But don't spam and tap that R1 button over and over again. The reason being, if you do this, you are going to have the teammate come towards you because it's an overlapping of buttons. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make when dribbling the majority of the time is that you're not thinking about where you are going to take that touch with your midfielder or attacker. One of the easiest rules I can give you is always take your touch back where the pass came from, back into that direction. Why? Well, that lane is open. The ball's just come from there. So the majority of the time, it is going to be free. So many of you will turn and take the touch with your striker into the opposing centre-back, and they can just step in and take that ball away from you because you're not even set and ready to take that man on. So you need to make sure that you actively think about who you are receiving the ball with and where you are going to take that touch before you actually receive the ball. Push the left analog stick where you want to take the touch before you actually receive it. When you pick up the ball on the edge of your box when it comes to dribbling, you've just defended and you've won that ball. What you can actually do is kind of take your touches back out towards the wing or back towards your goalkeeper so you don't get immediately pressed, because obviously one of the worst dribblers on the game are your centre backs. The opponent knows this, and because the dribbling is so bad, they might try and capitalise on it. So should you need to take the touches up and away, feel free to do that as well. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see our coaching students make on FIFA 23 is dawdling in the middle of the park. You need to keep the ball moving. Take a touch or two and release that ball. You don't have the time or the space to dribble out of trouble on FIFA 23. It's just so difficult to do. Once you do beat the man and you're free to sprint away, keep an eye on the opposing player, on who the opponent is controlling with. When they start to close the distance down towards you, you can let go of the sprint button and just dribble, draw in the opponent, and then look for a pass and move that ball on. Also as well, if you do want a one-to-one coaching session with myself or one of the team on FIFA 23, make sure you join the Alexbee Academy. From the gold tier, you can get that session. A link is in the description if you're interested in that. So all this sounds well and good, right? Well, this tip right here will help you understand dribbling even further. You are 99.9% of the time never going to dribble past someone with just the left stick and moving forward. It's just not going to happen. This is where combining skill moves with dribbling will help you elevate your game. You can use simple skill moves like the ball roll, where you push and hold the right analog stick 45 degrees for half a second. This can be great when the opponent is rushing down on you, or you want to just realign your body angle to get a better pass off. You can also use step overs to draw in the opponent. This is where you flick the right analog stick the way you are facing, rotate that right stick 45 degrees, and then exit with the left analog stick holding sprint to get that speed boost away. That way, you can take on opponents actively when dribbling with the ball. Another thing that you have to actively think about while dribbling is space on the pitch. Think about, where does your opponent think you are going to go? Where do you think you're going to go? And where do you have runners? Where do you have that next pass? I see so many people just spinning around like Anthony in a 360 degree with no direct purpose on what they're doing with the ball at their feet. The more you are engaged with the space and the movement that you have in your team and on the opposing team, it makes dribbling so much easier for you. So keep thinking about it. Where do you want to go? Do you have room to sprint, or do you just need to dribble? For an example, you might be running down the wing. The opponent's coming in to close you down, so you might just move into a dribble, and then as they get close, you may sprint away or do that step over to draw in that opponent. If you do beat a man, you now have an extra man available in that attack. It's very simple in that process. There are plenty of ways to dribble on FIFA 23, and although it may be more difficult than what we're used to, we now know what we need to do to find that room and space. Our latest 4-4-2 tactics that we've recently uploaded can help you find more space on the pitch, so you can click this video here to see them and apply them to your game.